All right, welcome to our last lecture video on sales variances and customer profitability. This last video will focus on customer profitability. It's very intuitive what we're going to go over. Not a lot there as far as things that will blow your mind, but it is definitely worth talking about and mentioning a couple things that aren't quite so intuitive. So, customer profitability analysis is basically what it sounds like, that we do all these analyses on our divisions, our products. If we're Coke, we definitely uh, look at how the Coca-Cola label's selling, and Dr. Pepper. I don't know if Dr. Pepper is a Coke product, but say it is. Dr. Pepper and the root beer, and we analyze each one of those products and segments. It's really important we get that. But a company needs to do a similar analysis, not just for every one of their divisions or products, but also for all their major customers. Because what we don't want is to have these big customers that we find out that because of their unique orders or the way they handle deliveries or all these things, we're actually losing money to them. Or if we do find out we're losing money, we may want to know that so we can really turn around, renegotiate contracts. Uh, in general, we just want the best information we can get, and good information is at the customer level. As this says, we might want to stop serving customers that are losing money, or hopefully turn them into profitable customers, like I said, maybe by renegotiating contracts. Or we might just want to ensure that, hey, we have big customers and we're making a lot of money on those customers. Let's take them golfing, or let's give them some discounts just to keep them happy, right? So, in general, this is another one of those times where we want to do an analysis of a certain type just to get good information to make the best business decisions. So, we know customer revenue is huge, and two things affect revenue: quantity and price. The revenue side, as we've went over many times, it's pretty easy to analyze. We know the quantity, how much the customer purchased. That's easy peasy. The price, we know how much they paid. There could be some interesting contract terms that added discounts or long-term changes in price. But in general, revenue, easy peasy. The harder part, as we've seen throughout our class, is really nailing down these costs. And as we know, we allocate costs out. So we really need to determine what costs, just like we do for our different products, we allocate costs through our whole cost system. We need to allocate the costs similarly, but to each customer now. So we would basically go through all the steps we've learned, and our cost object, in a sense, would just change to the customer. So we would see all these products that went to that customer and add all those up. It's not always that straightforward, because a lot of times we'll need to allocate costs on the basis of a customer level cost driver. We definitely know tools that'll help us come up with this cost driver. And so we'll have to go through and see, do our handling costs, our order taking, or number of deliveries, are these really good drivers for our customer level costs? Once we do those analysis, we can come up with something like a regression line that helps us decide all these variables put into that regression. How much is the true cost of supplying a customer? And these are just a couple of the cost of drivers. We've learned a ton of them. And so there could be a lot. But the most important thing is just at a conceptual level to know revenue's easy by customer, but we might have to leverage a lot of the tools we've learned in class to really come up with the proper allocation of costs to a customer to essentially make an income statement by customer to see how much money each customer is providing us. And why is this important? Well, it could lead to some customer retention decisions. What I want to emphasize here is We don't want to do these analyses and say, oh, customer A, we lost $1,000 last year with them, let's cut them, right? Or we don't want to even say, we only made $1,000 on all these orders, it's not worth our time, let's don't serve that customer. This is just an extra tool. Doing this analysis lets you make better decisions, but the decision you don't usually want to jump to is cutting a customer. We know there's big implications. So what we really want to focus on is long-term versus short-term. We wouldn't want to cut a customer because it'll help us this year or because last year looked bad. We want to see the long-term implications. Are we sure we're allocating our fixed costs appropriately? Right? If we're counting fixed costs in these analysis, we got to move that out because we'll incur those costs whether or not we have that customer. And then these are the big things. If you have a customer that's losing money, well, let's don't drop them. Let's see if we can reduce our costs somehow. Or we can let them know that we might need to renegotiate prices, right? So overall, by doing this customer level analysis, we'll just have the information to go to our customers and try to renegotiate contracts or to figure out why our costs aren't working for certain customers and hopefully improve those. So these are just really beneficial analyses, lead to better information. And like we always say, better information will lead to better business decisions. So that's pretty much it for the customer side and for this lecture series overall. Don't forget to get your homework turned in. And all the practice problems from the previous lectures, just want to remind you, please go through all those. Make sure you work on those. The answers are posted online on the slides. And then be sure to set up Zoom or however you're going to meet with your group and discuss all this stuff with them. And if you guys are having trouble, let me know and me and your whole group will all Zoom and we'll get things figured out. So good luck and have fun learning and have fun chatting about it.